Hello everyone, this is Frankie again, and welcome to our second Pixel Slayers Gaming Memories podcast. I'm going to dig deep into my brain and recall the earliest gaming-related memories in my timeline. This episode is going to be a little different than the first. I will be sharing a list of gaming memories I have in the order that I remember them in. My very earliest gaming memory was of Pitfall on the 2600. This would serve as my origin story, if you will, of my love of platformers. I used to sit and watch my older brother play this game all the time, and one day I picked up the joystick and I tried it for myself. I was terrible, but I recall how cool it was to see the guy walk on the screen when I moved that stick that was in my hand. To this day, that basic starting level is burned into my brain. Something was so satisfying to me at the time about this game. Even though I had countless deaths, I just loved to see how far I could make it. When I played it, it was about 8 years after it came out, because the 2600 was handed down to us, and that's all we had at the time, so that's what we played. Moving on to my next memory, when I was growing up, we would go to the laundromat when it rained or when our wash machine was on the fritz. We didn't have a dryer, so we relied on an outside clothesline. Plus, our wash machine was outside on an uncovered cement slab, so we would visit the laundromat every month or so. This was exciting to me because the laundromat had soda machines, chip machines, magazines to read, and of course, a couple of arcade machines. My brother and I could usually get some quarters from our mom to spend on either junk food or a game, so we never minded going with my mom to help her do the laundry at the laundromat. The two machines they had were Super Mario Bros. And PacMan. I recall my brother and me one day playing Super Mario Bros., which was the first time I had ever played it. It was addicting and exciting to me, and very new to me at the time. What stood out to me was how big the characters looked on the arcade machine screen. See, at the time, the only platformer I had played was Pitfall on an old 13-inch black and white TV. I recall how cute the turtles looked and how cool it was when Mario would change whenever he got a mushroom. All I know is that is when I fell in love with this game. Thankfully, my brother saved up and soon got an NES after that, and he would let me play it whenever, he would let me play it. Sometime after that memory, my mom and I were back at that same laundromat. I saw the PacMan machine and I wanted to try it out. I knew who PacMan was, even as a preschooler, and I knew that the 2600 copy of PacMan that we had sucked. I took a good look at the PacMan machine, and I knew that I'd been missing out. I didn't really know how to play, but that day my mom came over and helped me play. This is very surprising to me because she never played games with me before. But she knew how to play this one, and it was one of the only times, with the exception of Rock Band 25 years later, that she and me were playing a video game at the same time together. So not all of my earliest gaming memories are happy and cheery. I almost wasn't going to mention this one, but it is one of my first gaming memories, and while it doesn't give me a nostalgic comfort that most of my gaming memories do, it does show the power of media to provide a distraction during difficult circumstances, and it also plants a strong anchor of a bond that I share with my brother to this day. Sometimes growing up in our house would be like walking on eggshells. Looking back on it now, I realize that our parents did the best they could with what they knew at the time and with what they had. They were both very different people back then and lacked the emotional maturity to communicate with each other during difficult circumstances, and they didn't understand the damage that they were doing through their actions. Needless to say, what would start out as a good day could quickly go sideways. This memory was after my brother had bought his NES. We were in the room that we shared at the time with each other, and he just finished playing Mega Man, and I wanted to play Super Mario Bros. Not long after starting the game, we began to hear the occasional yelling. Now, this was before I had become somewhat desensitized to this. When I was really young, I would cry and really freak out when the yelling started. I remember my brother closing our door and turning the volume up on his TV and saying, "Just focus on the game." That night was the first time a game gave me a sense of comfort. It was a true escape for me at the time and prevented me from getting as upset as I normally would. Now, shifting gears away from that, my final early gaming memories are sort of a bundle of memories that take place at our public library. When our library was new and it first opened, it would have NES games and they would let you check them out. This was, of course, before most of them were never returned and they stopped borrowing out games completely. Most of the games I would check out were edutainment Sesame Street games, which I thought were awesome at the time. Usually there would only be a few games available for checkout because as soon as they got a game back, it would be checked out right away. Remember, $60 for a game in 1990 money was a lot. So for a place to check out a game for free, that was a pretty big deal in both senses of the word. For some reason, one memory that really stands out was when they got a new Mega Man game in. I recall my brother and one of his friends sneaking behind the counter and grabbing it off the returns cart. It felt like a rush knowing that I just witnessed a defiant act. Now at the same library, I recall sitting with my brother week after week while he played Battle Chess in the computer lab. I didn't know what the hell was going on at the time, but it sure looked cool. Well, that wraps up this podcast of my earliest gaming memories. If you would like to share your gaming memories with us, go ahead and send us an email or share them in the comments. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon.